Good morning, YouTube. So it's Friday, November 11th, 2022, 9:46 a.m. I haven't even checked the news yet today, but I fully expect there are no final election results for Maricopa County, Arizona, which I'm completely fine with. I watched a really good video on Fox 10 on their YouTube channel that really explained mostly what I already knew, but it just gave a little more depth to it. And now, reading the comments kind of tells me that people are just so self-centered and impatient that they didn't actually watch the video. But anyway, that's not what I'm shooting this video about. I want you all to see this. Check out right here, right here, these 3 no parking signs. They're City of Phoenix no parking signs, but they start right there, and then there's another no parking sign, and there's one that says no parking ends. That seems extremely sus to me. Just in front of one house and half of the adjacent house on a street of single family homes. I'm really curious if those are actually stolen no parking signs and the person put them there because they didn't want anyone parking in front of their house, or if they actually managed to bug the city enough to get the city to designate the space in front of their house as no parking. Like, I'm super curious the legitimacy of that, and if it is legitimate, like what makes that person's house so special that the city of Phoenix has designated no parking in front of it on a residential street that otherwise has on-street parking. I'm a citizen of Phoenix. I think I'm entitled to know the answer to that. So I was actually on my way to the girlfriend's place. I feel more like calling her girlfriend than so-called girlfriend this week, and I guess that's a pretty good thing. Did sleep the other morning. Ooh, I'm really close on that arrow. Kind of ran that arrow, but oh well. Oh wow, it's just sailing. Oh yeah, it's the other phone. I need to get a second phone holder for the other phone. I usually have it sitting on the passenger seat to my right, but yeah, every now and then I go around a corner like that and it just goes sliding off the seat. And I don't like reaching for it when it does that when I'm driving. I do anyway, but I don't like to do that. Anyway, yeah, I stayed the night with her. I say stay the night, for me, stay the night is such a figurative term, being that, I stay the night at Amazon damn near every night. Scheduled 4 nights a week. Lately, it's been 5 nights a week. Although I was offered, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this on a vlog yet, because it's been kind of random, like when I've been shooting quite a bit of video this week, but it's been like really random when I've actually done it. Largely dependent on like whenever I'm looking at the traffic view and I'm like, yeah, it's not going to change, and I've pretty much decided what my route is going to be. That's usually when it's like, well, may as well shoot some video. I've got this. I don't need my traffic view to make any more decisions. Anyway, so I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not, but I was actually offered voluntary time off on Wednesday night, and I'm really glad I didn't take it. I had an absolute blast working Wednesday night. Aside from the fact that I lost my gloves, one at a time, mind you. I did not lose my pair of gloves. First, somewhere along the line, I lost one glove. I was rather distressed about it. And of course, all my coworkers, it seems like, just think I'm a nut job, and the managers and whatnot, just like, why do you care? So go to the PPE machine, get another pair. Like, no, I don't want another pair. I want the glove that I lost. And for me, it's all about, and honestly, I think this is kind of an autism symptom anyway. Things mean a lot to me. When I lose or misplace something, like the separation anxiety that I go through is definitely on its own scale more than what normal people seem to go through. Except when that normal person loses the phone. People get crazy over the phones. I had to deal with that last night. at Bullock's, but that's a separate tragedy. Anyway, but yeah, like no, I don't want to go get another pair. I've lost the match to this one. So part of it is that, and then part of it is the fact that for me, like, the way things feel is a really, really big deal. I'm very, very sensitive. I mean, to the point I can't wear jewelry, I can't wear glasses. I really dislike wearing earbuds. Just the way things feel are a really big deal to me. And when it comes to gloves, like, I needed to turn left there. I'm on my way to my mechanic Rob's shop, and it's very unusual that I would be coming down 40th Street to go to his shop. I was on my way to Priscilla's apartment, and then it occurred to me that the mission at hand was to give her a ride back from Rob's shop, and it's like, well, why am I going to her apartment if she's driving to Rob's shop to drop her vehicle off? I should pick her up at Rob's shop. This makes no sense. So I called her, and yeah, so driving her place for no reason. Switch directions. There's a different kind of view of SkyTrain station, by the way. And I was wanting to take this route so y'all can see this view of the SkyTrain station, because I don't think I've ever vlogged that. Anyway, this is Madison Street, by the way, and it is the southernmost street now that connects 40th Street and 44th Street. I dig these sensors here, these traffic sensors above me there. That's an odd thing to have on a street this size. Odd thing to have on a street in general. And most of everything, yeah, you got the right of way, girl, walk. I like how she just stopped and expected that I wasn't going to yield her the right of way, even though she had it. Oh, she didn't walk in the crosswalk, she walked across the intersection, but you know, whatever. I love the SkyTrain station. I wish it served. I wish that was more of a public transit thing and was more integrated into other public transit and ran in more places other than just where it does. But as I've documented in some of my videos, when I was in the process of getting hired at Amazon, which granted that was like 10, 11 months ago, it's a really excellent connection from the light rail and from Route 44 and also Route 1 over here to, I believe it's Route 12 that goes down Buckeye Road, down Buckeye Road from the airport to the west. Using the SkyTrain works perfect for that. Not that I have really met anybody who uses it for that other than myself, but yeah. God knows if I was working a PHX 6, like that would be part of my daily commute when riding the bus to work. Anyway, where was I? So I lost my glove, and people are just get another pair. I'm like, no, I don't want another pair. For me, new gloves, the kind that Amazon gives us, feel terrible when they're new. I don't like the feeling of wearing gloves in general, but above and beyond policy, and I tend not to wear them at every time in which it is policy, and that's something I've explained before. But there are definitely things that I do at work where I want to, regardless of policy, I want to wear gloves to, protect my fingers from getting smashed, getting cut, etc., getting splinters, wood pallets bite. Yeah, but other than that, in general, absolutely do not like the feel of gloves, and particularly not new gloves. Now, the ones Amazon has, after I've had them for a couple of days, they break in and they feel better. And after I've had them for a couple of weeks, they're almost like, it's kind of hard to explain, but like they feel right. And those gloves were well to the point of feeling right. In fact, they were kind of close to the point of needing replaced, but they were still at the point where they protected my hands, but just felt right. And yeah, so when I lost one, I was pretty distressed about it. To the point I even mentioned it at our after lunch stand up. It's like, hey, if someone sees my gloves, sees my glove, please keep an eye out. please keep an eye out on the Southside Docks for my glove. It's there somewhere. It never did turn up, but I managed to lose the other one shortly before the end of the night, which I know exactly what I did on that one, and it's just absolutely silly. I remember taking my one glove, because sometimes if I'm only walking away from my forklift to open and close the dock gates, or what do you call it, the safety gates, they're called dock guardians. That's all I'm doing. I will generally only grab one glove. Sometimes I don't even check which glove I grab because I'm ambidextrous. I can do it with my right hand, do it with my left hand. Because I just want to use the one glove for the handle. I mean, not only is it something that's kind of like procedure and something you're supposed to do for Amazon, policy to do it. I occasionally do it without my gloves, but I just find that it's those handles tend to be kind of dirty, tend to be kind of they can pinch my hand, and occasionally I bust my knuckles against the thing where I put it in. So anyway, I do like to wear gloves for that. So I'll grab one glove, and by this point I only had one glove, but I grabbed the one glove. And then, Priscilla not here yet. Wow, there's another Saturn here. Saturn SUV, that's interesting. Try to back in by the Saturn so I could get out a little easier, because it's always really hellish to get out of here. That wall right there to my right just makes for a hell of a blind spot, especially backing out of this little tiny parking lot. So anyway, it really does not look like Rob is here yet. I'm gonna do a little walk. Do a little walking, a little talking. I love doing my vlog that way. Yikes, I am more than a little close to this Saturn on my right. There's giant trucks and SUVs just flying around the corner from 40th Street, which has a, not quite sure what you call it, but it has like one of those little exits where you don't have to come to a full and complete stop while turning right. I don't know what the heck those are called, and I'll walk over and show it to you like right now. But I do know on a lot of urbanist videos, which I'm a big fan of, urging for, cities that are safer for pedestrians. These particular type corners are often vilified as something really, really bad and unsafe for pedestrians. I don't think that they're as unsafe as a lot of these videos tend to make them out to be, but yeah, they can be frustrating. Honestly, I find it more frustrating as a motorist that just tries to get out of this automotive shop on a regular basis. Oh, Saturn Relay. I remember when these first came out. Well, this was dirty. I remember when those first came out, absolutely loathing them, because to me, it's everything that Saturn did not represent as a car company. Like I don't even. No, I got a feel on it. It's not my vehicle, but I just feel the need to push on it. I know, so inappropriate of me. But I don't even think this has a plastic body. Nope, that's metal. It's kind of a thin metal. I could sort of pop it, but not plastic like my Saturn is. See, doesn't dent, doesn't pop, just plastic. Yeah, the plastic body was very much a Saturn thing, and that SUV, I don't know, not a real Saturn to me. So I don't know if I've shown this in a while. There were construction vehicles and stuff here. This property apparently flipped owners. Private property was prosecuted, and whoever the new owners are, because they had a bunch of for sale signs on it, and they're gone. And whoever the new owners, they had a crew here clearing everything that was here. There was a bunch of old cars and some junk, basically, on this lot, and they cleared it all up. So now it's a very clean, empty lot. But yeah, it's got a little retaining wall here, and the retaining wall by Rob's shop that makes it really hard to see oncoming traffic coming down University. Gate and the wall there. I don't see all the for sale signs, so I'm really curious what's going on with this property. If somebody's grabbed it to hang on to it as an investment, or goes an out in service bus. I always see a lot of those here, especially when I'm waiting for the bus and I'm like, yeah, there's my bus. Oh, it's not my bus. Yeah, this is the only driveway into the property, but yeah, there's nothing on this property anymore stating that it's for sale or rent or anything. Just these new private property, no trespassing, violators will be prosecuted signs. So I don't know what's going on with this, but there doesn't seem to be any activity on the property now. They cleaned it off. Looks like Bob left his barricade. So I forget the letter and number designation, but that building directly in front of me there, that is an Amazon fulfillment center. I've featured it in some videos, but it's been quite a while since I've done so. It's one I've considered transferring to, but it's also a regular fulfillment center that, you know, has pickers and fulfills orders. And I really, you know, that I've worked for Amazon for a while, I really dig the fact that GYR3, where I work, is a even though it says fulfillment center in the building, is actually not a fulfillment center. It's I think it's called an IXD center, but I dig that what we do is different. Anyway, this is the thing I was talking about, how there's a right turn only lane, and you see there's the right turn only lane for people going southbound on 40th Street to turn right on University, and there's a sign indicating, you know, that's the route to the airport. And I think when you're on I-10, as you're approaching 40th Street to the eastbound, there's signs that say, you know, to take that exit for the airport. But yeah, instead of having to stop at the red light, it's like a little exit that merges directly into University Drive. You got a yield sign, and part of the meaning of that yield sign is to yield to pedestrians in this crosswalk. American drivers in general, and Phoenix drivers specifically, are pretty notorious for not yielding to pedestrians. It's just something they don't like to do. I mean, that's why that one pedestrian that, as I was on Madison Street, clearly had the right-of-way, was stopping and looking at me as opposed to just walking, because fully expected me to not stop, even though I had a stop sign, or not stay stopped, even though, you know, there was a crosswalk there, and she had the right-of-way to keep crossing in it, and I should have stayed there and waited for her, which I did, but she just gotta, you know, it's probably works. That particular lot is an employee lot for people that work where she's walking from. That's an employee lot for people that work at Sky Harbor Airport. There's the Route 32 bus for people that work at Sky Harbor Airport. So I'm sure that's her, you know, part of her daily commute to work, is walking across that crosswalk at the SkyStream station and riding it over to the airport, and she's quite accustomed to vehicles not stopping. Oh wow, there actually are Phoenix cops. Imagine that. Supposedly the new police chief is making headway on hiring more cops. Phoenix has had a police officer shortage for quite some time. I'm just wasting time walking around the intersection. I know Priscilla will be here shortly, but it's pretty obvious Rob's not here yet, so I'm just killing time. I'm attempting to walk over to Jack's Box and get a little bit of food, but I'm trying to spend less money on fast food these days and make more headway at my massive amount of debt, since pretty much everything I threw on my debt from my 6-month bonus at Amazon, my hiring bonus, pretty much went away with all the amount of time that I had to take off for dental issues. Oh wow, it's one of those articulated buses. Yeah, I wish instead of running articulated buses on the Route 32, they ran smaller buses with a higher frequency. Route 32 only runs every 30 minutes. And if you're a person who actually uses transit, yeah, once every 30 minutes is just simply not enough, especially when one considers how bad the Route 32 is in keeping its schedule, and then how often it straight up doesn't show up because a given bus isn't running. Of course, the problem with that is due to a shortage of drivers, and more buses would just create a need for more drivers. So maybe not the solution. I don't know what is the solution. You know, before I got the job at Amazon, and even for a while after I got the job at Amazon, I was very seriously considering applying to work for Valley Metro, possibly as a bus driver, but you know, maybe working in some other capacity for Valley Metro. But at this point, I'm honestly really content with my job, even though the pay isn't what I would like it to be. I'm actually really, really content with my job at Amazon, which is what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, so I guess I don't think I explained how I lost my other glove. It's kind of funny. So I grabbed my one remaining glove. Looking over to see if my Benz is still there on the left, and it is. I think. Wait a minute. Maybe it is. Oh yeah, my Benz is there. Looking sad and lonely, but still there. I really need to get that Benz moved over to my apartment. As I've mentioned before, but haven't mentioned in a long time, my plan for the old Benz is just to part it out and sell it a piece at a time on eBay. As it sits, it's really not worth much. But as a parts vehicle, I make pretty good money just selling it off a piece at a time. A smaller bus. Oh, that's not Route 32 though. It's Route 30 East. So instead of turning north at 44th Street and heading up to Washington, that one just continues on down University, on into Tempe, and also even further well into Mesa. So I'm just walking, killing time. Get Priscilla's vehicle over in the spot, although she's likely to pass me as I'm walking down this road. I just realized how windy it is. I hope y'all can hear me and not just microphone wind noise. I'm shooting on my iPhone, as I pretty much always am these days, due to space issues on the Obama phone. And the iPhone microphone does not do well in wind, and it's pretty windy this morning. Anyway, so as I was saying, I grabbed my one remaining glove, and I get off my forklift, and my mission is to get off, open and close some of the loading zone gates, Dock Guardian safety gates, and also oh yes, I am jaywalking, and also to scan in and log a bunch of pallets that I'm getting ready to load into a truck. So I grab my gloves, I'm gonna need that for the gates, and then I think I'm not sure, I think I grab my scanner. I'm trying to replay it in my head. I think I grabbed my scanner and grabbed my pen. I have a pen that is my own that I bring for when I'm doing, when I'm loading trucks, just because the cheap ass ballpoints that Amazon provides suck. And I've got a really nice rollerball pen that writes a whole lot nicer. And yeah, it's mine. It's not a big deal. But it makes the job more enjoyable, and it makes my log trees look a whole hell of a lot nicer as well. So anyway, so I'm doing that, and anyway, so I've got that, and open and close the gates. I'm planning on opening and closing, and come back in, and I grab the trailer manifest, the list of what's going in, the handwritten list. And so I remember taking my glove off at that point because I really can't write. I mean, I suppose I could, but I can't write effectively with the glove on. So, you know, when I'm scanning and logging, I always do that in bare hands. And set the glove, after I scan the pallets into the truck, I stack them, I arrange them, I log them all, scan them, log them, and then I get back on my forklift, stack them and run them into the truck. Generally speaking, stack, take a stack in, come out, stack another stack, take it directly in, and so forth. Except if I'm stacking above the safety barrier, I do have a time where I'll put like 2 right up against the safety barrier to the side of a dock, and I'll stack both of them, and then I'll run the one in, and then I'll come out and run the other one stacked in. But not fond of leaving stacked pallets just in the open. I don't think they're inherently unsafe, but it just makes me feel better not having them. For me as a driver, as a forklift operator, it gives me better visibility, not trying to maneuver around stacked pallets, and also it's I'm responsible if for some reason they come down, so just rather not have them up and have a possibility of that. Love this mural. There needs to be more walls with Jimi Hendrix on them. At least I think that's supposed to be Jimi Hendrix. Interesting bit of property here. Just a garage and a door and address. No sign as to what it is. They know for rent or for lease signs either. And a gate into a backyard. I can only imagine what these properties sell for now. Shame I didn't get one back when I had my taxi company and property was affordable here in the 90s. So anyway, basically the 2 types of stacks that I make, for the most part, are stacks of cases, which are these blue cases with boxes in them. I know. Exciting, I know. And they're a certain height, and 2 of them on top of each other is the perfect height to go into the truck, or stacks of pallets of totes, filled totes, not to be confused with the empty totes when I'm working totes and loading totes. These are filled totes, and each pallet consists of 6 piles of either 4 or 5 totes. And the 4 or 5 thing is very relevant because you can only make a stack using a stack of 4 and a stack of 5. 2 stacks of 4, too tall, won't go into the trailer. And theoretically, I can do 2 stacks of 4, but then I find myself not having enough stacks of 4 to match up with my stacks of 5. So unless I'm just trying to finish off the tail end of a trailer, I'm doing a stack of 4 with a stack of 5. So as I'm setting them up in front of each other to log, you know, to do my handwritten manifest, and then, you know, to turn around and do my you know, and then get back and stack them. I'm always putting the stack of 5 in the front, the tallest one, closest to the door where it's going to go in, and then behind it the stack of 4. And then, of course, when I scan it, I scan it and log it. I always scan the taller one first, and then the smaller one. Now, where this is relevant to my glove is that I always use the stack of 4 as a writing surface. The stack of 5, I do occasionally use it as a writing surface, but generally speaking, I don't, because it's just high enough that it's uncomfortable for me to write on my clipboard. Or in the instance of one of the doctors I was dealing with on Wednesday night, my loose papers. Somebody stole the clipboard from that doctor. I'm not sure what the hell was up with that, but it happened on day shift. Damn them. Anyway, gosh, I can't believe I've walked this far. I should really turn around. Ooh, nice Mitsubishi. That's a badass little car. So anyway, so yeah, generally speaking, I'm always putting my stuff down and my scanner and writing and whatnot. With I'll lay my scanner down when I'm hold the paper with my right hand, write with my left hand.
on the stack of 4 next to the stack of 5. Well, apparently that's where I also took off my glove and sat it on a stack of 4. And after putting a bunch in that I scanned together, used to be I only ever did 2 at a time. Pull 2 out, lay them in front of each other, scan them, log them, stack them, load them, come back out, do it again. Obviously that makes a lot of time of just getting on and off my forklift, and which takes away from my productivity. And I started doing it that way just to make sure I didn't screw up, because it was a whole new thing for me. Now that I'm comfortable, I'm often doing as many as 5 stacks at a time, so a total of 10 pallets at a time, which is impressive. Most of the other drivers either do 2, 3, or 4 stacks at a time, so 4, 6, or 8 pallets. I don't think I've ever noticed any other driver doing 10 pallets at a time. I've had to get pretty creative with the way that I arrange them in the work zone to make 10 pallets happen, but it's working for me, and I just loaded an incredibly large amount on my shift Wednesday night. Anyway, back to the glove. At this point, I'm 100% convinced that when I took the glove off, I left it on one of the 4 stacks, and then just wasn't thinking about it, and put the written truck manifests. I believe it was the one that didn't have the clipboard, so put the loose papers on top of the TDR controls where they sit, and then put my scanner and pin back on the front end of my forklift. Like there's a couple places on the forklift where you can like kind of store stuff, and I have a place where I always keep my scanner, a place where I always keep my pin. My pins, I also have a large thick Sharpie that I use for marking certain things, which I don't want to get sidetracked explaining when I use that, but I do have that handy, and I do occasionally need to use that. Yay, a can. Clean up the street a little bit, do some recycling. Love the weed and the weed painting on the sign pole. That's awesome. And the mushroom. As dispensaries go, that place just looks insanely cool. By the way, I've yet to actually go inside an Arizona dispensary since legalized recreational weed has happened here in Arizona. I don't know, just there was a time that was just like nothing mattered to me more than, God, it'd be great if weed was legal. And now that it is, it's like, kind of over that now. I outgrew that a long time ago. Anyway, so yeah, I'm absolutely convinced that I obviously I put my scanner where it goes, put my pen where it goes, but I think I just forgot that I had a glove sitting on that 4 stack, and I'm absolutely convinced that I put the 4 stack on top of the 5 stack and loaded it into the truck. So that truck heading to LGB7, and I'm sure whoever unloaded that truck, if they've unloaded that truck yet, I would imagine they've unloaded it by now, has down stacked that pallet and was like, what the fuck is a glove doing on top of this pallet? some idiot loaded a glove on this. I'm that idiot. What can I say? Anyway, yeah, next time I go in, I'm gonna have to get me a new pair of gloves. I'm gonna have to break them in. I don't think I have any extra used pairs at home. And I went through my bag. I definitely don't have another pair in my bag. Oh, there's an Amazon Prime van. A lot of people don't realize that those vans are not owned by Amazon. At least very few of them are. The bulk majority of those Amazon Prime vans that you see delivering, those are owned and operated by independent contractors. So the people that you see delivering your packages don't actually work for Amazon. They are either independent contractors themselves or they're working for independent contractors. They're not Amazon employees, unlike myself. Yeah, I've been going to the Amazon FC subreddit quite a bit, and it's kind of nice. I saw somebody explain that very well, and it was something I already knew, but I just kind of responded with, yeah, this is the big difference that really matters. You know, because when people are talking about, well, you know, what's it like to work for Amazon, and then you get a lot of the drivers talking about, oh, there was this and that and this and that. I'm like, yeah, but dude, you don't actually work for Amazon, so you can't really say what it's like to work for Amazon. That's not who you work for. You should be more familiar with what your actual working arrangement is. Just because you're wearing an Amazon vest, you don't have a big truck that says Amazon inside does not mean you work for Amazon. And there are so many different independent contractors. And I kind of made that mistake myself when I want to say about a year ago in my blog when I was talking about how it applied to work for Amazon as a driver. I didn't actually apply to work for Amazon. I applied to work for one of those independent contractors. Anyway, wow, I've wasted 35 minutes. I should just wrap this up and chill in my car. I would imagine, even though I didn't see her drive by me, I would imagine Priscilla is already at Rob's place. Possibly Rob is already at Rob's place. But yeah, I need to call her regardless. But thanks for coming with me while I wander around aimlessly in this industrial part of town. Wow, that is a neat little ride. Dune buggy. Good times. And another oversized killing machine truck. Hate those things. Is my back in a van out or not? Ah, yes. This is the bus stop where I saw the attractive, presumably homeless girl sleeping when I was going to start a vlog that only ended up being just a few seconds. I can't believe how many views that stupid video got. I mean, not viral by YouTube standards, but viral by this channel standards. And of course the comments are like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, yeah, if you watch the vlog on a regular basis, it makes sense. Then again, no Rob, no Priscilla. Now regardless, I need to call her. Oh, I see the giant Cadillac has been moved. Whoa! The giant Cadillac has been moved because this little white truck has been moved and my Honda is gone. My little green Honda usually sits right here. It's not here. That's something I need to find out. Rob, where's my fucking Honda? I can find that out. Not sure what's going on with that. Maybe he's actually working on fixing it. Ooh, that looks brutal. That's gonna be some work to fix. Damn. Ouch. Look at the angle that wheel is sitting at. Big ouch. Not a drivable wrecked car. Yikes. Anyway, yeah, I need to wrap this up. I'm sure I left some loose ends here. Sorry, that's just the way I am. My brain is all jumbled, and I tend to talk about like 5-6 things at the same time. And if you think it's difficult to listen to, imagine what it's like being me. Just saying. I was going to talk about the election, and there's a little sign in. Yeah, a lot of people are just jumping on the conspiracy theories and saying things in the comments. It makes it very clear that they don't understand how Arizona elections work, even when commenting on a video that explains exactly how Arizona elections work and why it's taking so long. It's like people are just so busy being impatient that they're not listening and making zero effort to understand. I, for one, am glad that Arizona elections work the way they do, and the Maricopa County elections work the way they do, and that it is taking this long. Because, yeah, they could just open all of those ballots and shove them through the machine and have a total. They could, and that would really open the floodgate for anybody who finds a mail-in ballot, filling it out and voting illegitimately, and opens a floodgate for potentially dead people voting. Because yeah, there are most certainly dead people on the voter rolls. You know, it takes a while if somebody's on the permanent early voting list. It takes a while for the county recorder who maintains that list to get wind of the fact that they're not still alive. So yeah, that ballot does. There are ballots that are sent out. It just is what it is. It's not even a matter of negligence. It's just kind of how it is. But I do think that it's good that Maricopa County and Arizona as well all the counties, make such an effort and follow the state law to verify each dropped or mailed ballot to make sure they're legit before counting. And that's what's creating the delay. And a lot of people are calling for getting rid of drop boxes on the day of election. Now, I use that for many elections because it is a convenience. When I realized that that's what's causing the counts to take so long, I stopped doing it. This last election on Tuesday, now that was more an issue of I had just kind of waited to the wire. It's like, there's no point in me even looking at my mailed ballot. I just need to get to the polls and get my ass to work. But election before, what I did and what I suggest all Arizona voters do that have the time. Now, I get it. Sometimes there's a long line at the polls and you just need to drop that ballot off and get your ass to work. And I don't want that option to go away. I really don't. But if you do have the time, yeah, you can speed up the Arizona count just simply by if you have the time, go into your voting location, take your early ballot with you, and just copy your answer, copy your choices from that ballot to the printed ballot you get at the election center. And then it'll be tabulated immediately, provided there's no problems with the printer. But again, people call it shenanigans than that. Have you never had a printer malfunction? Come on now. The printers malfunction where I work all the fucking time. I had a pallet the other day, I was trying to scan it, and it came up as already scanned. Like I had already loaded a pallet with that same exact number and barcode. And I'm like, this is a problem. I went and got my direct supervisor, who was a PA, Alex, I mentioned her before. I really like her. Probably more than I should like her, but that's a separate tragedy. Anyway, she because boobs. She went and anyway, I went and got her, and she was showing me, what I needed to do to verify it at that point. She went through it so fast, I'm just like, yeah, you're going through this faster than I'm going to be able to understand it. And she's like, no, that's all right. I expect it's going to take a few times, but I know when you get it, you'll get it, and you'll be awesome at this. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you for the vote of confidence. And I think at that point what she did is she popped the lid off, and then I don't know how she got to the screen, but she got to a screen where she scanned a couple of the CSX tags on the individual boxes inside the case. And it came out that was actually, that the labels that were on it were the wrong labels. I don't know how the person printed those labels got that wrong. I'm not the person that does that. I haven't trained for that job yet, and it's not really on my list of things to cross-train for. There are some positions there I do actually want to cross-train for, which I've talked to my supervisors about cross-training for, most notably TDR, because that would be very useful and something I would do simultaneously while being a pit driver, and would certainly make me more efficient as a pit driver. The other thing, which I wouldn't do at the same time, but it's just something I really want to learn how to do, and I don't even want to do it any more than pit driving. I love driving forklift, but I just like to learn how to do it. But I would like to learn how to operate the robotic palletizer, just because I find that robot absolutely fascinating, and I'd like to learn how to operate it. They've been kind of short on robot operators lately, so when they're in a pinch, that would make me essential, and that would be nice. It would give me more options for getting overtime shifts when they're not doing mandatory overtime and I need some extra money. But I'm fascinated by the robotic palletizer and robots in general, so I'd love to learn how to operate it. Anyway, I got sidetracked again, didn't I? So oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Train of thought completely derailed. Oh God. Something mentioning about things I would like to cross-train to do and what I'm not cross-training to do. Oh, fuck me. I hate it when I lose my train of thought like that. Oh, Alex. Anyway, so she's scanning me that. Yeah, so I'm not planning on learning how to be one of the persons who loads those cases and prints the labels for those cases. But anyway, they had printed the wrong labels, and what Alex was trying to show me how to do was how to print the correct labels for it, which I can do from the scanner gun, which is not just a scanner. I mean, it's actual. It's an actual computer. It's a handheld computer, Android based, running proprietary proprietary Amazon software, and I can print. I can fix and print labels from it. Obviously, it doesn't have a printer. I need to somehow send from it to scanners or for printers that are located in my apartment. Actually, I had one in my work zone, and it malfunctioned. It just spit out blank paper instead of spitting out printed labels. Yeah, that's something printers do sometimes. So I'm really not faulting the county recorder for the few locations in the morning that the printers were not working. That's just simply something that happens. I don't feel he did anything wrong. I'm well aware that those printers were checked and were certified prior to the election, and they malfunctioned. Printers do that. All the hate for the county recorder right now, for the way Maricopa County votes are being tabulated, is really saddens me. People are making they're just jumping on the conspiracy theory boat and not even making any effort to understand what is happening and why it's happening, and that ballots being properly authenticated is a good thing. And what gets me even more is how many people are like, oh, it's because of the Democrats, it's because of the Democrats. This particular video, for the most part, there are two people answering questions. The people don't even seem to be listening to the answers because they keep asking more questions that had already been answered. If you were paying attention, you would know the answer to the question you're asking right now. Kills me, people like that. It's like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just told you. God, speaking of which, I had a guy at my karaoke show last night, an old white dude. There always seems to be an old white dude when this happens. I mean, not always, but more often than not. In fact, I saved his karaoke slip because I'm going to take a picture of it and just do a post on probably on Snapchat and also a community post here on YouTube. So the guy wrote down his name and the title of the song he wanted to sing. Wrote down Spirit. Hey, there you are. All right, Rob's here. I'm gonna wrap this up. But anyway, he just wrote down the song title, Spirit in the Sky. I said, yeah, I need you to write the artist on there. And he told me the artist. Like, it's loud. I can barely hear him, and I'm not gonna remember that. Dude, write it down. It's your slip. You need to write that down. And yeah. And he's looking at me like, well, don't you know who sings Spirit in the Sky? Yeah, I'm well aware that I have two different karaoke versions for Spirit in the Sky in the style of two different artists. I have one for Norman Greenbaum and I have one for Doctor and the Medics. And unless it is written on your slip, I don't know which one you want to sing. I didn't have a chance to tell him that or explain that to him. But come on, dude, read the fucking direction. He's like, that's bullshit. You know, I said, I just need you to write that down. He goes, well, that's bullshit. And then he stomped off and laid a slip on the table and went to the bar. Never came back. That's fine. I got plenty of people that are waiting to sing. They would rather not have to wait for your attitude and your stupid song. So that just speeds them up. Fine. You weren't tipping me anyway, so fuck you. Yeah. But he goes, that's bullshit. And it is bullshit. It is total bullshit that he got that paper from a book that said on the front cover and the back cover and on both sides of the one page inside it to write down the artist and the title and your name on the paper. It is bullshit that he didn't follow the simple directions that were right in front of him in 4 different places when he pulled that paper out, and is also written on every TV screen that has my lyrics on it that he could have seen. And also, that's when he walked up, I told him that's what he needed to write down. So he didn't read, didn't look, didn't listen. Why can't people read, look, and listen? What's up with that? Frustrating.